Hey there, sports fans. I'm Mike Cianciolo. We're broadcasting from Studio 6 in Johnson Hall for the first time this semester.
And I'm Sean Owens. There have been a lot of Marquette sports happening while we've been gone, so buckle in because here we go. West Virginia leaving the Big East for the Big 12 after last year, the basketball powerhouse conference everyone used to know and love is now crumbling fast.
MUTV Sports' Mark Freund takes us inside the Big East Conference realignment and what it means to Marquette in an original report from December 15th.
By now, it's no secret that conference realignment is changing the landscape of college athletics, and the Big East landscape is changing more than any other conference in the country. 6 longtime members of the Big East, including Notre Dame, Louisville, and Syracuse, have all either already left or have announced intentions to leave the conference. With the Big East sitting in the eye of the conference realignment storm, many in the Marquette community wondered when the winds of change would blow into Milwaukee. Saturday, we found out the future of Marquette athletics, as well as the 7 other non-FBS basketball member schools. In an email sent out to members of the Marquette community, Father Scott Pillars, president of Marquette, released the following statement. Quote, Marquette University, along with 6 other colleges and universities, has made a decision to withdraw from the Big East Conference. Former Big East Conference members DePaul University, Georgetown University, Providence College, Seton Hall University, St. John's University, and Villanova University have also withdrawn. And together we will explore our options to develop a premier athletics conference centered on elite-level basketball. The 7 presidents and athletic directors of the universities previously named have been in a thoughtful dialogue to ensure we jointly solidify our vision and commitment to compete at the absolute highest levels of athletic excellence for many years to come. This move will allow us to enhance the elite status of our men's basketball program while developing new opportunities for student athletes in all 16 of our competitive athletic programs, end quote. Following Marquette's win over Savannah State Saturday, Pillars and athletic director Larry Williams spoke about the school's decision to leave the Big East.
It's a historic day for the university, and we're very, very pleased at the relationships that we're forming together with the other 6 schools as we move forward. And this process has been going on for some time, and we wanted to do the right thing for the right reasons. So there's been a lot of diligence and deliberation, and we're very happy that we are at the place we are today.
We couldn't be more excited as administrators about the future of Marquette basketball and the basketball that's played by our fellow members. It's a common and universal commitment to elite level basketball and other sports, and it's really going to be an exciting future.
Williams acknowledged that it was the collection of moves within the conference, as well as within realignment in general, that are what prompted Marquette's decision to leave the conference they've been a member of since 2005.
These have been thoughts and conversations that have been ongoing for quite some time. And there's been a whole bunch of things that have occurred over the course of the last couple of years in all of college athletics, right? So we have shifting landscapes, and as we surveyed that landscape, a collection of all of those moves led us to this decision. So I wouldn't point to one particular instance that was the straw that broke the camel's back or anything like that. It was rather an amalgamation of all those issues.
The move is basketball motivated, but what does it mean for Marquette's other athletic programs? According to Pillars, the integrity of the non-revenue sports will not be compromised by the decision to leave the conference.
We're very conscious of wanting the best for all of our student athletes at Marquette. We're incredibly proud of them. Our student athletes across the board are among our very finest women and men who are attending the university, and we want to make sure that they're in the right place, and we're absolutely confident that they are going forward. So we were very deliberate about making sure that there will be a bright future for every student athlete at Marquette.
Williams noted that there were still several questions to be answered, but we know that one thing is for sure. The game is changing, and Marquette is right in the middle of it. From the campus of Marquette University, Mark Freund, MUTV Sports.
Marquette basketball had lost to the Cincinnati Bearcats in Ohio January 19th, effectively dropping them out of the top 25 after first breaking in that previous week. The Golden Eagles took on Providence to try and regain a top 25 ranking in downtown Milwaukee. Marquette taking on the Providence Friars with Coach Buzz Williams and the team sporting pink shoes in the Coaches versus Cancer campaign there. Junior Cadogan in the first half with an easy bucket. Golden Eagles would maintain a lead throughout this one for most of it. Missed shot there, rebounded by Juan Anderson after he missed that for the tip-in. Then out on the wing, Trent Lockett finds Devontae Gardner for the easy two. Derek Wilson over to Vanderblue. He's got reservations for three. And then again, a missed shot, but this time put back by freshman sensation Steve Taylor. He's going to be good for the Golden Eagles in the coming year. Now, Devontae Gardner with the ball, swings it out to Jamil Wilson, who hits his famed baseline shot. And then Vanderblue with an association move. The BMO Harris Bradley Center goes dark there for a little bit. We've got more to come on that one in the future of this show. But picking it up now, Vanderblue with an authoritative slam. And Marquette would take down the Friars 81-71.
I think sometimes last year we were so good offensively that at times there were facets of a game that were difficult for our guys to be held accountable for, because subconsciously they were like, yeah, we screwed up, Buzz, but we're going to score down here. And I think this year's team doesn't look at that from an offensive standpoint. They understand that our margin can only be expanded by offensive rebounding and decreasing our turnovers.
The Eagles got set to take on the South Florida Bulls at the BMO Harris Bradley Center. 2 minutes into the contest, and Vanderblue comes up with a strip and goes coast to coast for the lay-in. MU up 6-3. Marquette swinging the ball around on offense, and it's blue again, this time from three. That put the Golden Eagles up 43-30. Vanderblue had his way with the USF defense in this game as he posted a career-high 30 points against the Bulls. Marquette won its 21st consecutive home game 63-50 and moved into a first-place tie with Syracuse atop the Big East. Now let's hear from our own Shawnee Smith, who was at the game.
To finish off a two-game homestand, Marquette took on USF Monday at the BMO Harris Bradley Center. What started out to be a slow game shortly turned into the Vanderblue show. Blue led the Golden Eagles with a career high of 30 points to give Marquette a victory over the Bulls 63-50.
Vander is in a really good groove, and I don't just mean offensively. I think he's beginning to take ownership, not statistically. I think he's taking ownership in how we have to function. And I think when, as I tell our kids all the time, God blesses the intent of your heart. And I think Vander's heart is in the right spot. I think he's been accountable for his work and his preparation. And I think that mentally, physically, and emotionally, he's in a really good groove.
Always feels good, especially at a high level like this in the Big East. That's a major accomplishment, but I care more about the wins and losses. So I'm just glad that we got the win, and I was willing to do whatever it took to win.
The win on Monday over USF moved the Golden Eagles to a tie for first place with Syracuse in the Big East with a 6-1 record. However, Blue states that it is important to stay focused as the Golden Eagles move into the month of February.
It means a lot, but once again, we've played the least amount of games in conference. We've played the least amount of games on the road as well. So we got a good draw this year on our schedule. But we want to make sure that we get prepared, because starting Sunday, we got 4 games in 8 days, 3 being on the road. So that'll be a big test for us.
Devontae Gardner only saw 12 minutes of action during Monday's game as he was assessed a flagrant 2 foul and was ejected during the second half. After the game, Coach Williams stated he was unsure of the potential discipline for Gardner.
No, I'm not exactly sure of the process, but Michael Broker, our deputy AD, told me that we would know something first thing in the morning.
The Golden Eagles will have to wait and see if Devontae Gardner will be available for Sunday's game at Louisville. Reporting from the BMO Harris Bradley Center, Shawnee Smith, MUTV Sports.
All right, Dewayne and Claire, Marquette basketball is now 6-1 in the Big East Conference, tied atop the conference with Syracuse. Buzz Williams didn't expect this at the beginning of the season, But what factors do you think have led the Marquette Golden Eagles to be atop the conference with Syracuse right now?
Well, I obviously didn't see it either. From the Marquette Madness game, from the scrimmage, I didn't see the team pulling off to be a 6-1. But now, with Todd Mayo being out and the first half of the season, young players like Juan Anderson and Steve Taylor have really stepped up and gave them what they needed. Because Juan averages 3.7 points and 3 rebounds, and Steve Taylor, as a freshman, averaged 3.5 points.
From definitely Marquette Madness, didn't expect them to do as well as they have now, but they wanted to prove to the country and themselves that they could do as well as they wanted themselves to be.
You know, you guys bring up a good point. No one saw this coming, but the young guys have really stepped up, and one of those young guys, kind of maturing now, is Vander Blue. He's seriously taken over the lead as kind of the top scorers of this team, scoring 30 points something. DJO, nor Jay Crowder did last year as seniors, and Jay being Big East Player of the Year. What do you think has kind of gotten into him, people would kind of say, as to kind of take the reins of being a leading scorer for this team?
Well, I would say, like Buzz was saying, like it's not only as a player, but he's seeing it as to be a leader. As far as like I was saying about Todd Mayo going down, he really understands his role and that it has become bigger. So he needs to give more than what he's doing, almost an extra boost for Marquette to have a chance.
Vander is definitely trying to prove to himself and his teammates that he can do as well as he wants to, and that as well as they expect him to do.
You know, it's good though that he kind of keeps in mind that it's not about his personal stuff; it's about the wins. You know, 30 points is great, career high, awesome, but to make sure that he has a team first is, I bet, what is excelling him as well too.
Yeah, the win is what matters the most.
Okay, and as we heard in that post-game presser from Buzz and Vander, Marquette has had a majority of home games so far this Big East season. Their next 3 or 4 are on the road. What do you guys think Marquette needs to do to win on the road? Because we all know it's not easy to win on the Big East. You can win on the road in the Big East. You can lose anywhere. So what do you think it takes?
Well, just off watching these guys this year, it seems that they start off and begin like red hot, and the intensity level goes down. So I would say for the guys, just when they go on the road and even at home, they need to keep the intensity level up. If they can do that throughout all these last games, they should be in a good position.
I agree with you, Dewayne. Definitely want to make sure they secure points early and then not lose it throughout the game, because it seems like the other team takes it away from them and ends up tying the score up with them.
All right, so it's gain the momentum, keep the momentum. Mike, back to you.
When we come back, we're talking women's basketball as Marquette had a pair of games in the last week. Welcome back, everybody. The Marquette women's tennis squad was swept in a 7-0 match against the number 50 Indiana Hoosiers on Saturday. The Hoosiers are a perfect 3-0, while the Golden Eagles fell to 1-2 on the season.
Junior Carly Shue's indoor program record in the women's long jump highlighted a successful day for the Marquette University men's and women's tracks programs. They competed in the Bill Bergen Invitational on Saturday. Sophomore throwers William Koick and redshirt sophomore Brett Harden each notched personal bests, finished 3rd and 4th respectively. MU also received Big East marks in the men's 800 with senior Kyle Winter finishing 8th in 1 minute 52 seconds 88 milliseconds and freshman Anton Rice 9th with a personal best time of 1 minute 54 seconds 52 milliseconds. The Golden Eagles return to action Friday, February 1st at the Mayo Invitational in Notre Dame, Indiana.
The men's soccer team has announced the signing of 3 players to the 2013 recruiting class. Marquette welcomes transfers Brady Wall from Ohio State and David Selvaggi from DePaul, as well as head coach Louis Bennett's son, freshman Louis Bennett II. Selvaggi will be forced to redshirt next season, but Wall and Bennett will be eligible for the 2013 campaign.
Marquette University lacrosse tickets are now on sale through the MU ticket office, including a special promotional price on season tickets available for a limited time only. Season or single game tickets can be purchased online at gomarquette.com/tickets by calling 414-288-GO-MU 4668 or at the MU ticket office located in the Al McGuire Center. Last week, Tuesday, the women's basketball team hosted Louisville.
The 13th ranked Cardinals came into the Al McGuire Center looking for a conference road win. The 2 teams' captains met at half court before the game tipped off, and we'll jump ahead to the end of the second half with MU down by 4 as Marquette's Catherine Plouffe snags the board and sends the outlet pass to Brooklyn Pomeroy for the easy deuce to make it a 2-point game with 1:30 left to play. The ensuing Marquette possession sees Katie Young knock down a three-pointer to give the Lady Golden Eagles a 1-point lead with 14 seconds to go. MU struggled to get back on defense, and Louisville pushed the break, catching Marquette off guard and taking the lead back by 1. Marquette would have one final chance to knock off their ranked foe, but Katie Young's three-point shot gets blocked, and the Cardinals escape Milwaukee with a 64-63 win, and the Lady Golden Eagles fall to 10-8 on the year and 2-3 in the Big East play. Now we'll hear from head coach Terry Mitchell on her girls' performance against Louisville.
It was an incredible game. Our players left their hearts out on the court. We played with incredible passion. We never gave up. Thought we did an awesome job rebounding the ball, pushing the ball, and obviously we all know the turnovers hurt us. But what I loved is even being down 10, we fought and won the media, cut it, and were able to take the lead with a shot with Katie hit, and then they just came right back at us, but we still gave ourselves an opportunity. And that's all I can ask our players.
Marquette was led by Arlisha Morse, who had 15 points. Catherine Plouffe had 10 points and 9 rebounds. The Bulls were led by Inga Orakova, who had 15 points, and Alicia Jenkins with 11 rebounds. For more on women's basketball, we go back to Mike and our analysts.
Thanks, Sean. I'm here with our analysts, Dewayne and Claire. Guys, we're talking women's basketball. The Lady Golden Eagles are coming off a 2-loss week despite the losses. What positives came from these two performances?
Well, I would first say the positive is that you have Alicia and Catherine. Alicia being a sophomore and Catherine being a junior. These guys are going to come back for you. They're playing well this season. And with the Louisville loss, Louisville was ranked 13th, and they only lost by 1. So the girls stayed in the game and they played their hardest. So that's definitely something positive.
If anything, you can look to how fresh your legs are out there on the court. They are always gaining momentum during the game. Even if they don't win, unfortunately, they are always excited to keep moving forward.
Yep. All right. We're 19 games into the season. Who do you have as the team's MVP thus far?
Well, I'm going to go with, I know Catherine is like the go-to pick, but I'm going to go with Alicia because she's only a sophomore. She averages 11.8 points with, she shoots 30% from the three-point line and 72% from the free throw line. So with her being a sophomore, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Alicia Morris. She's having a very good season for being a sophomore.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Catherine Plouffe. You're going to go with the leading goal scorer here on the team. Junior, has a lot of energy and is a leader on this team. She has led this team in almost every category and is keep moving forward. She's growing even as a junior, even though she has 1 year left. She has improved and is going to keep growing with the team.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Plouffe. She's a very strong player for Marquette. With 10 more conference games on the schedule, do you think Marquette has enough in the tank to get to 500 or better in Big East play?
Always on the positive side, I do believe so. They have 2 home games coming up and 5 home games left. So if Marquette can pull out all those 5 games, they can possibly be over 500. And they have 2 ranked teams coming up. But if they can pull out those home games, I think they can do it.
And again, with the positives, they can secure the home games. They do have a chance. But with the ranked teams, there comes a problem because they have not done so well. We tried to look for patterns in their wins and losses, but there hasn't seemed to be one. So if they can secure those home wins, then they have a possible chance of winning.
All right, thank you for your insight, guys. Now we'll send it over to Sean.
Coming up on the Golden Eagle Sports Report, Marquette tennis. Stick around.
Marquette student athletes helped hand-pack 100,000 meals for hungry children on Sunday afternoon.
I took an inside look at how Brian Cianciolo put together such a massive undertaking. On Sunday, January 20th, Marquette athletic teams put together 100,000 meals for starving children all over the world. The effort was led by junior men's soccer player Brian Cianciolo, who had inspiration to bring the event to Marquette when he volunteered over the summer back home in Illinois.
Yeah, I went and volunteered at one of their locations, just packing the meals like we did today, and I really liked it. I had a great time, and I knew that we had the resources at Marquette to do it, and so I just kind of got it in the hands of the right people, and it worked out well.
Not only were student athletes involved, other students from the university came in to help the effort as well. Total, over 500 volunteers packaged the meals, and Cianciolo enjoyed the experience greatly and was very proud of the effort everyone put in.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I just loved seeing everyone have a good time. It seemed like everyone was enjoying what they were doing, and we all came together to do a good thing.
Reporting from Marquette Place and Alumni Memorial Union, Sean Owens, MUTV Sports. Marquette Tennis is in the midst of a 5-match homestand, and they had 2 this past weekend. Their first opponent was IUPUI. To the Health Fair Tennis Stadium we go. Marquette doubles taking on IUPUI. You're going to see coming up here Dan Mamelot and Vukasin Tefanovic. Mamelot serving there to IUPUI. A quick rally here followed by a Tefanovic kill. Not sure if that's necessarily the term, but Marquette would take that game. Then IUPUI serving, and that return from IUPUI back to Marquette is long. Marquette would win the majority of the doubles matches, which means they would advance to single matches, and Marquette would win the single matches too. Marquette defeats IUPUI overall 6-1.
Men's tennis took on UIC Saturday afternoon at the Health Fair Tennis Stadium. Marquette secured a point early by winning their doubles matches. Here we see MU's Dan Mamelot working his racket on court 1. He would serve up a solid outing and take care of his opponent easily, winning his singles match 6-0 and 6-4. Meanwhile, on court 3, we had Gleb Skler, who also won his singles match 5-7, 6-2, and 6-1. Cameron Tarani, Logan Collins, Vukasin Tefanovic, and Javier Varela Hernani all posted victories as the MU men's squad defeated UIC 7-0 overall. Marquette is 2-1 on the year and undefeated at home. Now let's head over to Sean Owens, who's with our analysts.
All right, Dewayne and Claire, Marquette Tennis had a very successful weekend. They've got a couple more matches coming up at home. What do you think is their key to surviving the rest of the spring season and making a good run?
Well, to start the season, they defended home pretty well, and that's always a good thing. Having the home field advantage and being defended home is pretty good. I would say for the future, I'm kind of skeptical as to see what they can do later in the season.
I would say stick with the junior and sophomore combinations that they seem to be having. That works well for them. But like you said, Dewayne, stick with winning at home. If they can keep winning the home games here in Milwaukee, then I think they'll be perfectly fine.
All right, that's all we have for the time here at the analyst desk. Let's send it back to Mike.
Invited guests during Saturday's basketball game between Marquette and Providence. A bat flew over the court many times, swooping and dive bombing towards players and referees, resulting in the game being stopped 3 times. Finally, the lights were turned off to get rid of the unwanted bat, proving to be a successful tactic as the bat no longer returned afterwards. That will do it for our first show of the second semester.
For our analyst Dewayne, Gage, Claire Moseley, this good-looking man is Mike Cianciolo. I'm Sean Owens. Good night, Marquette.